A personal workspace is a reflection of you and your personality. Hi, my name is Paolo and I'd like to welcome you to my channel, and in this video I'll be showing you my office, my studio, my personal space. Now, there's a lot of inspiring videos out there on YouTube that can help us sort of get different ideas, get different aspects of what we think would work for us in our setups, in our studios. And this is my take on what I believe is perfect for somebody that relies on really high quality equipment, especially in my day job. And I do require a certain level of quality when it comes to my production. That includes stuff like photography, videography, graphic design, even basic things to get my job done. I still think when it comes to creating excellent results, you do need to use high quality equipment. But in building my studio, as always, it does require careful planning, careful budgeting, and a little bit of creativity. So in my situation, I use both a Mac and a PC, and I'm going to show you how I seamlessly transition between Mac and the PC when I work, when I play, and how I balance them both, starting with the foundation of it all, which is my desk. Although you've probably seen this before, I went with the butcher block from Ikea, which is the Karlby Countertop, and instead of going with the popular 74-inch wide, I went with something grander. Instead, I went with the supermassive 98-inch wide countertop, which I'm sure you've guessed was such a treat bringing home. The countertop had a heavy weight of 87 pounds and or 39.45 kilograms. And like I mentioned, it is really, really wide. So I had to find legs that can support something like this, along with what I'm going to put on top of it. And in addition to that, I wanted a standing desk as well. So all of this together required quite a bit of research. So when it came to the frame, I went with Autonomous. Now, the brand Autonomous is something that piqued my interest because I've had several experiences with them in the past. And one small key detail that I needed for my standing desk was something where the buttons were physical as opposed to capacitive. This is very useful when you have pets in the house, and this way I don't accidentally touch one of the settings by accident. The frame I got is the Autonomous SmartDesk Pro frame, as opposed to the other option, which is just the core. And there's really not that much difference other than the capacity of holding more weight. I would just recommend going with the core frame and save some cost there, which can still hold up to 265 pounds, but I needed something that can hold the maximum weight capacity, since my 98-inch Karlby countertop weighs a ton on its own, plus all the other things you're going to see later in this video. Now, Autonomous also offers an L-shaped smart desk for those who wanted some sort of an L-shaped setup, and that frame can hold up to 400 pounds in weight. Overall, with Autonomous, you just can't go wrong. And instead of showing you me setting up the desk, all I can say is that I'm not a handy person, but getting the frame installed was very straightforward. All you got to make sure is you measure twice and then drill once. But I do love how the desk has come out and definitely has an impact as the foundation of my studio. For majority of my production, I use the 16-inch MacBook Pro with the M1 Max chip, 32 gigs of RAM, and a terabyte of storage. I simply drop it on my Rain Design laptop stand and plug in my peripherals via USB-C. Now, I have been a massive fan of Alienware products since the early 2000s. And when I heard that they will be incorporating Intel's latest 13th gen CPU as well as NVIDIA's behemoth graphics card, the RTX 4090, and with the inclusion of DDR5 memory now available, I had to buy it. And this computer is just madness. It's got the Intel i9-13900KF, the NVIDIA RTX 4090, dual T-Force 32GB of DDR5 RAM running at 7000 MHz, dual Western Digital Black M.2 SSDs, and one extra spinning hard drive just for those short-term archiving. And to give you a glimpse of how insanely powerful this machine is, I have Cyberpunk 2077 running at full 4K with Psycho ray tracing, and I'm averaging out 120 frames per second, which works seamlessly with my ultra premium display. We stare at our displays for many hours during the day, and choosing the right display or displays is a crucial step in building your desk setup. For my needs, I had 3: color accuracy, gaming, ultra productivity / leisure. These 3 things I shall dive deeper in my upcoming display review, but for today's purpose, I'd like to show you my display as part of my setup. So if you don't want to miss that review, don't forget to smash that like button and hit that subscribe so you don't miss it. Now, I'm a huge fan of Alienware, like I said earlier, which we'll go in a bit, but coming from a 34-inch ultra-wide gaming monitor, which you can see in this review here, I've already set the bar kinda high for a perfect display. So I needed something that had some key items such as G-Sync, high refresh rate, high resolution, and super vibrant. And in this case, I've instead went with the competition. This is the Asus ROG PG42UQ, a 4K OLED display with 120Hz refresh rate as the standard, which can be overclocked to 138Hz if you'd like. And here it is. So you can see that this monitor right here is quite large. In the beginning, it did seem a little awkward having a 42-inch coming from a 34-inch ultra-wide. It is extremely beautiful. It's on this VESA mount that can handle the weight of this, I guess, television. And the beauty about it is that I'm able to lift it up and handle it from there. So the beauty about this is that I've sort of arranged everything where if I wanted to put it upwards right here, I can go as high as that. Move it back there. If I wanted to put a laptop underneath, or if I wanted to have an iPad and then have a secondary monitor on top, I could. And if I just wanted to use it as my primary monitor, all I gotta do is bring it up like so. That's it. Now, if this setup is something that you're looking at or interests you, I've linked these accessories down in the description below. Now, very quickly, you may be wondering how I use both my Mac and PC in my everyday workflow. And well, check this out. I am using the ever popular Logitech MX keys right here, paired with the Logitech MX Master 3 mouse. Now, I'm sure you've seen this in every single review video that this is a very popular item, but I'd like to show you how I can use them in between both Mac and PC in real time. Now, if you have Logitech Options Plus installed on both computers, in this case, my MacBook Pro plus my Alienware desktop, if you notice my cursor when I drag it across the bezel here, it goes from Windows PC or Microsoft Windows in this case, and suddenly I have control on my Mac by just dragging it between the desktops. Logitech automatically switches your keyboard and mouse, and it just works. Another cool trick is I can copy information from my Mac and PC or vice versa. So for example, I copy this text right here, which is available on my Mac. I can just highlight the text, copy, go back to my Windows PC and click paste. And that was coming from a Mac. The Logitech Options Plus software works really well that way, and I use it every day, and it's awesome. For my audio, I've got the popular Focusrite Scarlett Solo that I'd integrated into my desk conveniently next to the standing desk remote. This is where I feed my Shure MV7 right here via XLR and then connect the interface via USB-C cable to this nifty splitter, which again goes back to that workflow between my Mac and PC. So instead of just unplugging it from one device and putting it to the other, this splitter right here allows you to seamlessly press a button and you can switch between computers. This is especially useful if you have 2 computers, doesn't have to be a Mac or a PC, but saves you from the hassle of unplugging it from one computer and then plug it into another. And in this case, it allows me to seamlessly switch between my Mac and PC. What drives my audio is a pair of world-renowned Genelec 8040Bs, and in a nutshell, if you know what these are, you know. Genelec 8040Bs, or in fact just Genelec in general, are renowned for extremely high-end studio speakers that is widely considered to be one of the best. It is designed for professional use in a recording studio or a post-production facility. In my case, it's more just for my production, but even for just daily listening, it sounds really, really good. Overall, I love these speakers, and it's definitely one of the best speakers I've ever used, and I highly recommend it for both listening pleasure or professional use. Part of getting the best sound possible is also how you treat your room, but yet it's for my home studio, which I don't really need the best in terms of acoustic treatment. I've gone ahead with Elgato's Wavepanels. I've placed them all across the room right here. From a visual perspective, it looks amazing, and from a performance standpoint, it is also amazing. And I have to say, the sound and visual appeal is top notch. Maybe I should have started with this. I actually got the Bear paint called Midnight Blue from Home Depot. It's really, really nice background. It blends in very well with the wood tones that I've chosen here for my studio. So yeah, Midnight Blue by Bear. Probably the oldest item in my setup. I still use my old Noble Epic Series chair, which has all the basics of a gaming chair. I've never had the reason to change it. Perhaps maybe the next thing I'm going to look for is a good chair. Maybe leave a comment below to suggest an amazing chair. I've heard a lot of good things about Herman Miller. Maybe we can look at that. Let me know. So part of my setup here is I'm going to have what's called my primary desk, which is right here. And I also plan on doing a lot of review videos in the future. So I have actually incorporated a secondary desk to the side here, which I call the review desk. I plan on using this specifically to go over products, review them, test them, and hopefully give you a glimpse of upcoming products as well. As you can see here, I can simply just move my key light over between my primary desk and my review desk for easy lighting. Just above my review desk, I've got the PegBoard from Ikea, another popular item. And this is just something where I can easily place all the stuff that I need on a day-to-day basis. I just know where they are. It's just so easy to organize, and I can't recommend that enough. Behind me, I've got the FJÄLLBO shelf, which is a very nice industrial design shelf where I've gotten my Bowers & Wilkins Zeppelin speaker right here and my Ikea head that lights up to add a nice accent to this shelf. It also comes with nice compartments here to store away more stuff. One small detail of my studio is the curtains. I know it's such a small detail, but I tend to like a darker space, so I opted for these espresso blackout curtains that not only complements the room's calming vibe, but also blocks a bit of that outside noise and darkens the room to my liking. Now, outside the studio, I do a lot of biking, and here I have the beautiful Cervelo S5. And during the summer months, I tend to go road cycling with a bunch of friends where we get to travel to such awesome places that you would never thought you'd discover. But during the winter months like today, I have decided to hang my bike here to add a nice sporty aesthetic to my studio. What lights up the show? I've got a variety of smart lights that I'm currently testing. At the center of my main desk is the lines by NanoLeaf. It's incorporated the lights behind it, which then bounces the light back. And as you can see here, it does look very nice with the midnight blue background, depending of course on what kind of color you go with and brightness. Then I've got a few Philips bulbs, which I've placed on my desk, 2 in the ceiling, a strip under the pegboard, and 2 on my accent floor lamps next to my bike. Behind me, I've got the Govee Slide, which is an excellent, easy to install set of bars of LED lights that I just simply got from Amazon. Although a lot of gimmicky light shows look very cheap, by simply keeping it in one color scheme allows the glide to complement nicely with my other lights in the studio. And in the corners, I just bought what was very, very simply a cheap LED bar from Home Depot. These cost a mere $80 each, and you can't even tell because as an ecosystem of lights, it does add a nice touch to it, but no one's really going to realize that, they're cheaper lights. So you can get away without spending too much money on that. And as my key light, I am using a Godox UL60 as my key light. So you can see what's giving me this nice sort of fill of light from an angle to give this effect around me. Overall, with the lighting in my studio, I've got specific lights for specific moods and purposes that I'm sure you'll get to see as I pump out more videos. Well, that was a glimpse of what makes this my studio, a reflection of my personality that thrives on high-end gear for my day-to-day creative work and lifestyle. So what do you think? I'd love to hear your thoughts and recommendations as my studio evolves over time, and I will be making a video about all the small stuff, but for now, if this tour has helped you in any way or if you simply just liked it, I'd appreciate a like and would love a sub if you haven't yet done so. Till next time, see ya.